Welcome back. It is like episode 17 of this thing. Can you believe I've been doing it that long? What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to Out of Townsend. This week's episode is all about finding that Goldilocks float. Over the last week, I've done a series of rides that I sort of was tentatively thinking would be an episode that I was calling Rides to the Red Light. The thing about it is that it sucked. Look. Hit the red. Yep. Whoa. That means I'm gonna have to do the walk of shame. Stupid idea. Make a video about real range limitations. It'll be fun. When you're trying to figure out the maximum range limitation on this thing, you run the risk of not getting in the best ride or ending your ride with a walk of shame, which is exactly what happened to me. Over subsequent rides, I was experimenting with different digital shapings, and so I tried riding every single one of the digital shapings available in the pint to figure out which gave me the best ride on the trail and route that I wanted to run. And that also meant that I had some subpar runs because I did an entire run riding an elevated, which I hated. I felt like I was Captain Morgan the whole damn time. Finding that Goldilocks float for me has become the mission over the last week. Here's the thing. I'm one of those people that has an obsessive personality. This could easily become a distraction for the things that I need to do on a daily basis. I'm an artist, a teacher, a husband, a father, not necessarily in that order, and also a YouTuber. And this thing could steal my time from doing any one of those things because it is so much fun to ride and it gives you so much of that feeling of being able to have some sort of creativity because it is so flexible. It can go anywhere. You can ride it however you like, wherever you like. I'm not an expert on this one-wheel pint. I am brand new to this little device, and my background is in snowboarding, longboarding, and skateboarding, and that's the kind of vibe that I bring to this. More than anything, it's that snowboarding, longboarding kind of vibe that really makes this thing fun for me. I'm interested in that sort of buttery, smooth carving through the landscape and being able to take any line that I want. I'm just about to cross the 75-mile mark on my pint. I've had this thing for 20 days. So the things I want to talk to you about today are some of the basics. I'm going to talk about stance, how to minimize the little wobbles that you feel, and how to feel stable in all different kinds of terrains. I'm going to talk about how I'm maximizing my range by picking a route that has enough downhill to be able to create some regen. All the things that go into that Goldilocks float. Maybe this is silly, but I've tried to start this video 3 different times at least. And each time there's something about the way that the video's coming together that I'm just not happy with. I'm not just trying to figure out how to be better on the one wheel. I'm also trying to continually get better at this whole YouTube thing, and my beard's all puffed out again. Damn it. And I'm hoping that today I can get all that together and pull together an episode that's actually worth your time and attention. Let's go. Okay, before we even get going, check my stance. Angled front foot, heel near the fender, square rear foot. Be able to create cross tension that runs right through the center of that wheel. That helps to eliminate the wobbles and shakes. Okay, one of the reasons I love riding Skyline is because I can be accelerating, carving up this incline. This is one of those spots where keeping soft knees and letting your lower body act like a shock absorber really pays off, because there's a ton of gnarled up roots and craggy sections in here while descending. then immediately going into a hill climb here. You can see my feet sort of go back and forth. Okay, this is a perfect place to stop for a second and just talk a little bit about route planning to get the maximum range. I have a little bit of hill climb in the early phases of my route so that I have a downhill section to create some regen. Second thing is talking about digital shaping. I'm riding in Skyline because it gives me carvability, it gives me the ability to ride on the grass, on the trail, over rocks, and it gives me this really nice hill climbing ability. I absolutely love Pacific for its carvability, but I have to say that on a route like this, it is all about Skyline. So my route changes from being alongside of a golf course to being alongside of a farm. It's 63% so far with about a 10% regen. So I'm right on track for my route. Lots of people out on this trail rock full headphones and they don't hear me when I'm telling them that I'm coming up on their left, which makes it dangerous for both of us. So for me, I end up wearing only one headphone so that I can hear. It's common sense. I probably don't need to tell you this, but I'm talking about all of it, so it's worth mentioning. I can ride for about 4.5 miles before I start to feel a little foot fatigue, and just got there, so I'm taking a second to regroup, and then I'm gonna head on out for the rest of this ride. I'm halfway on my ride. I'm about ready to go back by the busy streets and stuff. The last piece is to talk to you about how the whole thing integrates into my creative process. And I could easily be wasting my time by being out here riding. I mean, you're never really wasting your time if you're out riding your pint, but I could be robbing myself of doing the other things that I need to be doing. I put it at the beginning of my day. I give myself this 1 hour, this 9-mile loop to be able to open up my mind, to be able to get me prepared for the day that I need to do, and so that I'm not spending the entire day daydreaming about riding this thing. I've gotten out there and gotten my ride in. One of the things that I've found to be universally true is the more I plan and structure my day, the more I can wander off of that structure and be more creative and improvise. If time is the most important commodity in your life, and it is in mine, then how I spend it and how I structure it matters. And if I can save time by creating simple little routines and known quantities, then I can also make sure that I'm saving more time and gaining more time to do the things that I love to do, like spending time with my family, getting out here on the board, or spending time in my own studio. The analogy I like to use is that you can jump much higher from a stable platform, and it's far easier to move into the unknown if you are leaping from the known. So the more you know, the further you can go. Right. This is one of those sections of the route where I have to be careful because pavement is buttery soft and I have a tendency to go really fast. So I'm trying to maintain that speed right at the edge of 15 miles an hour. Once you hit that like 15.4, it's when I feel like start getting that push back. Stop the music. Quick. Wipe down on the board here. Route ended up being 9.1 miles. Connect. Okay. Yeah, so I'm a total 82 miles on my board now. I forgot to show you this. Okay, so unfortunately, I forgot to get a screenshot of this when it still had my my max speed on there, which is a little slower than normal. I only hit 15 miles an hour this time, around 14.9 technically. The last detail I forgot to tell you is my tire pressure. One of the other ways that I've managed to squeeze out 9 miles in a route consistently, even though I have these sort of huge elevation changes, is by putting my tire pressure up to 20. I know that there's a formula out there that tells you take your body weight and divide by 10 and that gives you your tire pressure, and in my case my tire pressure should 17.5 pounds per square inch, but because I weigh 175, I'm 5'10", wear size 10.5 shoe. All that stuff factors into your range, your height, your weight, your riding style. I have no scientific proof, but I also suspect that because I'm doing this sort of variation on a wobble pump like you would on a longboard that generates forward momentum, that's also helping to extend my range. Maybe that's totally psychological and not at all scientific. Lindley wants her walk because I'm back from my one-wheel ride and now she is ready to get her walk. Huh. Yes, she's like, Dad, it's my turn now. Is that good? Yeah. Okay, I have walked the dog, I've showered, loaded the dishwasher, wiped the counter, put away the laundry, vacuumed, and it's time for me to wrap this video up so I can get back to work on that grant proposal. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Consider hitting the subscribe button. Thanks to all the new subscribers that have showed up in the last few weeks. I greatly appreciate you joining. Maybe you want to hit the bell to get notified every time I post a brand new episode. Last week I posted an episode a little bit more about my art practice. I think that's it. I think that's all I have to say. I'll see you next week. Thank you for watching. Remember to live, love, make, learn, repeat. Bye. I almost forgot. I was gonna end the video without making this one last request. Okay, let's get a conversation going. In the description below, I'm leaving a link to my Goldilocks Float playlist. It's what I was listening to this morning while I was filming. I'd love to see what it is that you're listening to when you're floating. We can help each other out by expanding our playlists and linking to them below. If you don't have a one wheel, that should not stop you from getting in on the conversation. Leave a note, leave a message. Let's get this thing going in the comments below. All right, see you next week. Out.
Coming in, yeah, flex, I just wanna win, yeah, LA BB, who we running with, yeah, 2233, I'm on 10 again, yeah, state your name, big been dope on flame, I just switched the lanes, damn he did it again, I just flipped the pain.